It's fine sunshine most of the time. And the feeling is laid back. Palm tree road, rent so low, don't you know? I keep working my way back. But I'm a Jamaican boy who's born and raised. Nowadays I'm lost between two shores. LA's fine, but it ain't home. New York's home, but it ain't mine no more. I am myself. To no one there. And no one heard at all, not even the chair. I am my pride. I am said I. And I am lost and I can't even say why. Leaving me lonely still. Did you read about a father who dreamed of being a king?
Another day, another day, another day, another day, another day.
And they all became,
Welcome, 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 welcome everybody. How y'all doing?
except for the name, a few other changes to talk about me.
It is a great day. It's always a great day to be alive, you know? And, I was thinking today about my journey and, the station, Caribbean Vibes Radio Network. And if God should call me home tomorrow morning or tonight, and if he asks me, what did you do while you were on earth? I would have said to him, you know what? I created a radio station, Caribbean Vibes Radio Network. And I enjoyed what I did. Enjoyed talking to, communicating, entertaining my listeners. If that's the only thing that I have accomplished in this lifetime, I am proud of it. And I want to say thanks every chance I get, you know. I tell my listeners thank you. Because especially in today's, some people like to say day and age, where the competition is so strong. You know, everybody else everywhere is saying and doing some things online, and people's attention span are getting shorter and shorter. And there are so many different things that is craving your attention. So when I come here on a Wednesday or a Thursday or a Sunday, and when I have a few people tuning into me and interacting and staying with me for the duration of the program, let me tell you something. If you could have given $1 million, I mean, I would appreciate it still, but I wouldn't appreciate it more, or I could not have appreciated it more than knowing that you did not just stumble across this station and you decide, hey, let me see what's going on. You chose. And that for me is very, very powerful. That for me is very, very important. That tells me that you want to be here. You know? It's not that you are scrolling and you see something or you hear something and you decide to stop to see what it's about because you see a headline that's grabbing you. No. You chose to be here. You chose to check out the station. You chose to mark your calendar. And you're here. So let me tell you something, man. I love you guys. I love you. I really, really appreciate you. Alright? So, you know how we do it tonight. You know how we do it. You know how we do it. Tonight we're gonna play some reggae music. We're gonna play some reggae music tonight, yeah? It is the night, you know, it is the night when we try to just don't bug you too much with the hard stuff. It is just relaxing. Take your mind away from the hard day's work that you had, yeah? And just let me entertain you. Let me entertain you. Can you do that? Just for the next couple of hours. Let me just entertain you. Just focus on Caribbean Vibes Radio Network. Focus on the music. Let me entertain you. I'm looking forward to it. Let's say good evening to Colorful Crane. Haha. Love Bug is back. Sister Patricia, good evening. How are you doing, my friend? So we're here, we're live, and we are rocking. This is the Chris Whilby Show, the international show with Jamaican vibes. Some say it is the musical vibes. Because that's what we're going to be doing this evening. Going to be dropping some tunes. And I do hope that you are going to be entertained. Yes, man. Yes. So check it out, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to do it. We're going to do it. Let's do it.
Natural beauty.
Sending out all the love to all the ladies tuning in right now.
Yeah. No, I
Natural beauty.
never been someone.
This one is from Taurus Riley.
Until I see.
I know you're all royal.
Still
And this one is for all my female listeners tuning in, whether you're tuning in from Jamaica
me get my word.
or the United States of America
Woman, I
or Timbuktu in Africa.
won't stop.
Big up yourself.
Have to cry. No, I know everyone can relate to when they find a special someone. And she's royal, yeah, so royal. And I want her in my life. I never knew anyone so one of a kind. No, the way she moves to her own beat, she has the qualities of a queen. She's a queen. Ooh, ooh, what a natural beauty. No need no makeup to be a cutie. She's a queen. She's a queen.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, how you doing? I am, you know how it is. All of you, you know how it is. Good evening to you, Sister Chambers. How are you? How you doing, sister? Yeah, man, glad to see you in the place. All right, so let me explain. I don't know me, I don't know me very transparent, and I am an open book, and well on our family, so me no need to hide nothing from her. So y'all who were listening in last night would have known that the clip that was just being played was a clip, the show from last night. So I'm trying to do a what do you call filler? yeah, yeah, Feline. In the meantime, I'm getting set up because I have some things that I need to get done behind the scenes, and wasn't happening quite quickly enough. So you have to improvise as you go along, and yeah, so probably that's what's gonna happen. Drop some. So for those of you who did not get a chance to hear the show last night, yeah, you're gonna be hearing bits and pieces of it tonight. Yeah. So yeah, man, it's other things said, but yeah, it is indeed the Chris Wilby show. This is the Hot Topics edition, and we have a few things that I want to talk about tonight. Voices with Lady D. How you do? How you do, my friend? Friend from way back when. Yeah, man. Big up yourself, and we are. Yeah, we know. We know all the. I won't go back over it. How the show is structured. Yeah, we are going into the hot topics. This is the evening when we open up the phone lines and we talk about things that's happening. What is on your mind? If you want to call me, the number is 508-762-7621. 508-762-7621. I did share the hot topic with people, and it is on the website. It is on the website. Yeah, so let's I love to share my screen with people, so that you see what's happening. So this is what's happening on the website, right? It's the hot topics, and it is saying here, yeah, that's it right there. The hot topics. Let's talk about it. This is the main thing that we want to talk about this evening. And I'd love to get your feedback. If you can't call, you can share your opinion in the chat on YouTube. You can also send me the message on WhatsApp, or you can call me. Yeah, you can. I'd love to hear from you, though. In today's dating world, is holding off on sex still considered a good move, or is that old school thinking? Do men really want to wait, or are they looking for things to heat up right away? So I want to discuss it with you this evening. Yeah? In today's dating world, is holding off on sex still considered a good move, or is that old school thinking? I would love to engage with people, because even in the church today, it is becoming an issue. Because even Christians, a lot of Christians, Lady D, what's your take on this topic? I'd love to hear from you. I know you have to drive, go home, and you have your husband to go take care of and all of them something there still. But, if you could, when you're sickly a little bit, if you could chime in on the topic, I'd love to hear your views on it. And whoever else want to call in, I'd love to hear from you. 508-762-7621. In today's dating world, is holding off on sex still considered a good move, or is that old school thinking? And do men really want to wait anymore? In other words, do you think that men really care about it anymore? I don't know, my opinion. I don't want to just throw my opinion out there. I want to hear from you. Do you believe that men really care about such things anymore? Do they put a value on it? I remember back in the day growing up, um, we used to, women would try to hold off on engaging in that activity. I don't want to use the S word too much on social media because they have a way of, flagging your videos when you say too much of the S word, But the intercourse word we're talking about, I don't have a problem using the word, but for some strange reason, social media have a problem when we use the word, and that it's kind of funny, because it is the correct terminology. I don't know. Certain words you cannot use on social media. What we really are doing with one another. What we really are doing with ourselves. You can't use the word KILL. You can't use the word MURDER. It's like if you use those words, you get flagged. And sometimes they'll take down your videos. And you have to use some terms where make no sense in the English language. Like you have to use a term unalive. Yeah, it's like them trying to mash up the English language. You have to use the term unalive because if you use the correct word, KILL, or KILLED, the social media flag you and delete your video and put all kind of restriction on you and all of them. So it's just an interesting world we're living in right now. So, but yeah, I want to hear from you, my friends. In today's dating world, did I say good evening to Sister Chambers? Sister Chambers, how are you? Sister Patricia and Sister Yvette, how y'all doing? Good evening to you all. In today's dating world, as I was saying earlier, that back then there were some, I don't know if it is because the woman didn't want to give it up earlier, but because men would put a certain value on the women who hold off longer. Because if the woman didn't, then they would be seen as too easy. And it would be a turn off for men back then. So some women would tell you, I used to hear stories of how long a man would chase a woman for, and for years they would court, and the woman would act shy in some instances, or act what's the word I'm looking for? I'm trying to find the word, but they would hold on for a long time, and the man would continue to chase the woman because he really wanted her. Hard forget, that's the term I was looking for. The woman would literally play hard forget, even when they know that they really love the man. They wouldn't want to just meet the man and, tutus, them end up in bed and all of those things. So they would wait, literally. Sometimes some of these women will tell you, that are the man, I used to hear some stories when I was growing up. The man would tell you, boy, how long me have to wait. Me wait a year, me wait 2 years. Woman that never give me a chance, and all of those things. And then when they finally get together, you know, it would be heaven on earth. But is that thing really in today's society? Is it still a thing? And do men really care about this thing anymore? And somebody told me the other day when I was discussing this that the man them chat too much too. Because back in the day, if there was a woman in the community that would, like the man, I never take too long for, give it up. The man them would go back go talk. And it would be seen as, the woman would be seen as too easy in those kinds of situations. And that was one of the reasons why women would hold off, because they would not want to be seen as easy. But is that what is going on in our society today? Is that the same? Are people still holding the same values as back then? And is it that nobody really cares? The women don't care, the men don't care, and you can literally meet a person today and tomorrow you fall into bed and the next day you're at the altar getting married. Is that a so? And if so, why is that? Why is it so in today's society? 508-762-7621. 508-762-7621. If you want to give me a call here and let's talk about it. Also, ladies and gentlemen, there are a couple of other things in the news. We notice, we hear of suicide. The topic of suicide has been in the news for the past couple of weeks in Jamaica. And from that prominent young lady there that unalived herself. Yes, you want to hear me using the term because I don't have a choice. From her unaliving herself, and it came to light that she was literally seeking attention, and we don't know what level of attention was that she got. But now it is in the news that she is, her parents are actually setting up a GoFundMe for her. And, the comments about it is kind of, but there are many different reasons, ladies and gentlemen, why people commit suicide, and it is a mental health issue in a lot of cases. And in this young lady's case, it was a mental health break, and she was literally crying out for help, and nobody got her the help that she really needed. And I have to say that because if they had gotten her the help that she needed, she would have been here. So I can say that she did not get the help that she needed. Don't know if she got any help at all, but obviously she is not here today. And so I have to say that she did not get the help that was needed. Um, so, according to Nationwide News, the family of Tyra Spalding, the former Miss Universe Jamaica contestant who died by suicide last month, is appealing for help to cover her funeral expenses. Spalding passed away after openly documenting her mental health struggles through a series of 9 videos on YouTube. Her relatives say the sudden and unexpected loss has left them devastated. Right? So they are setting up a GoFundMe. And I'm going to, let me see if I can share this on the screen, and I'm going to, what's the phone number here? 762. That's for Chris. Right, I'm gonna share it on my screen, and the reason I want to share it, ladies and gentlemen, is because I want to show you, those of you who are watching on YouTube, I want to show you, I want to share the comments of some people online, and how most of the comments are positive. So here's the article. The family of Tyra Spalding, a former Miss Universe Jamaica contestant who died by suicide last month, is appealing for help to cover the expenses of the funeral. And I'm going, most of the comments are this person here, this person here is saying, and I guess them say them not bury her cause the path she chose. Them not bury her because of the path that she chose. You know, it's somebody else says, this is not a worthy cause. There are those who value life that are more deserving of the donation. Homeless children with special needs, etc. That is, so those are some of the comments. And it tells me, based on some of these comments, ladies and gentlemen, that the young lady was struggling, but a lot of people do not have any form of sympathy for her. A lot of people do not have sympathy for her. And I'm wondering if it's because of lack of information, empathy, sympathy. What is it that in this day and age, Jamaicans are still hung up on this thing about if you commit suicide, they don't want to have anything to do with you and your body, and they don't want to come to your funeral, they don't want to assist because they despise you. I'm still trying to I want to chalk it up to just people being ignorant. Now, I do believe that there are different reasons why people do the ultimate, right? Commit the ultimate act. There are times when, for example, a man and a woman will be in a relationship. And say, for example, the woman steps out on the man. In other words, she went and had an affair. And the man would take the woman's life. In that case, I don't think it's mental health. It has nothing to do with mental health. In that case, it has to do with control. Because that man, I said unalive the woman. I meant he unalive himself, commit suicide. He wants to control the woman, and he takes his own life because he wants her to feel guilty for whatever it is that he believed that she did to him. So he, in that moment, wants to control her, and so he takes his own life. That is my my school of thought where that is concerned, right? So I don't know everything about the suicide thing, but I know that I have read enough. I have researched it enough to know that majority of it has to do with depression and mental health, right? That much I understand. All right. So back to the hot topic again. 508-762-7621 if you want to chime in. Do you believe that men these days are waiting or want to wait, or they just want to just get it on as quickly as possible? Both men and women, they want to just get it on as quickly as possible. Nobody want to wait anymore, and nobody see a problem with it anymore. You can send me a voice note, send me a text message, and you can call me. All right. And as I said before, in the meantime, what I'm going to be doing is to fill you in with a little bit of the show, so that those of you who missed the program last night can hear a little bit of what happened. And I'm trying to be careful of the songs that I play on YouTube, so bear with me if you hear me skipping a little bit. You know what I mean? I have to try to not play too much songs that I believe is heavily copyrighted. Right? I don't want to get into any trouble.
Afraid and ashamed of who she is. She's royal, yeah, so royal, and I need her in my life. I never knew any.
I think they say that a lot of times when you play the music, if you talk if you talk over the music, it is not necessarily, I don't know, some of the rules I just can't follow.
I can see it in her.
That's why some of the times I just leave it alone,
The way she's
That's why we do the thing on the website,
Hey, yes, I know the king and queen crown, see I'm tired, so I never leave your side. Just stick with me through the trial times. Oh, and she says she no mind. Alright, I know good man is hard to find, and she can't about that giant no lie.
What the man say?
That's why she has no ties at this time. Yeah, I know many men.
I want to say good evening to Fit FM 96.7. Your life, your music.
Wind and dine because
Chill on the big station.
yeah.
Good evening. You are live on the radio. Good evening.
Good evening. Is this the Vibes Master?
It is. It is the one and only.
Haha.
I'm a big sister. This Wagwan.
Yes, me good. Howdy. So I was just catching bits and pieces because, commuting home. And,
Yeah, man.
But, so which one do we address first? And I'll be brief.
All right.
Like
So, yeah, let's talk about the hot topics in today's dating world. The question is, in today's dating world, is holding off on sex still considered a good move, or is that old-fashioned old school thinking? And do men really want to wait, or are they looking for things to heat up right away?
Hmm. Well, I mean, in let's say in this day and age,
In this day and age,
you know,
yes.
it boils down to whether or not we have good morals, biblical principles, and so on. I believe in recent times, people have chosen to do what they want, what pleases them.
Mm-hmm.
And so there are women who choose not to engage in any kind of physical activity in that regard.
Mm-hmm.
And there are men also who take that position. There are some men who will remain pure
Right.
until they meet their spouse and marry.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for people who choose not to, I believe it tells something about how you value yourself, how you want to keep yourself until that time comes. So it's a personal decision. Now, there are men who will treasure you for that. And then there are those who will have a motive behind trying to see if they can break you down.
Mm-hmm.
And so their objective. There's a feedback that I get, Chris. I'm not sure what with your line.
Yeah, yeah, if you can just ride through it, I know what it is.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
just
writing. I'm
yeah,
writing
yeah.
through it.
There's a
Yes.
it's a computer. The
So
computer
there are
is.
there are
Mm,
men who will say, you say to them, well, I'm untouched, I'm pure, or whether or not you've had that particular encounter, but you've taken a break, what have you.
mm-hmm.
They will respect you for it. They may even ask you how you manage, how you do it, because in the physical mind and in a natural way of thinking, not many people believe that you can actually hold out yourself that long.
Mm-hmm.
They wonder how you do it. So, the motive behind why somebody would be a little taken aback,
Mm-hmm.
or as I said, if you meet a man or a man meets a woman, they will say, I will not be engaging in anything. So it's either you're going to become attracted first to my mind, what my makeup is, what I think, and all of that before I engage in anything with you
Mm-hmm.
to build something of value. Because you and I know that once that physical activity takes place, it changes the whole dynamic
Yes, yes,
of a relationship.
yes.
So that's my take on it.
Mm-hmm.
And if there are women and men who refuse to do that and make everybody else feel that, you're the odd one, then by all means.
Mm-hmm. So, do you
Because in
believe
these
that
days,
overall, um, the value has deteriorated, or what's your take on that? Because as I was saying earlier, that back in the day, this was a thing where people used to like to wait. They wouldn't
hmm
want to, especially the women, would want to have the men wait as long as possible.
hmm
So the question actually came to me from a listener, and the person
okay.
wanted me to ask, my audience,
hmm
which I
hmm
appreciated because sometimes, you trying to find topics and whatnot to discuss. And I really appreciated this topic coming from the listener who wanted to find out, you know, what do I think and what the audience would think of whether
Yes.
or not it is a thing where people are not waiting anymore, or do they even really care about such things?
I don't know if it is a thing that they're not waiting anymore,
Mhm.
or the thing is that they are not reaching out to anybody with that, seeking help to say, hey, I'm experiencing pressure.
Mhm.
What should I do? Because it was just recently, a few weeks ago, we were at a gathering and someone in the midst, we were talking about marriage and all of that. And a mother and wife said that, it's interesting we're having the conversation because she wants to know what to tell her girls. Is it okay for them to just be okay with it or to tell them to wait?
Mhm.
So I believe, I don't know if it's in recent times. To me, this is something that has always been
Mhm.
around. It's just that it has become a more free flowing mindset.
Yes.
But I think this has always been a concern, a conversation, and things that people do.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah. Now I'll speak very quickly and go
Mhm.
in terms of the young woman.
Yes.
You know, I don't know if it is the fact that Jamaicans are not open minded and understand about mental health issues and so on, but I believe the root of it is in our culture. We were taught that if you do that, that's the most disgraceful act.
Mhm.
It comes with shame on the family. And so their reasons for wanting to do a GoFundMe, I mean, it could be a myriad of reasons as to why. But usually in our culture, if that happens, it's like it freezes the family because they're saying, how could this shame come upon us?
Mhm.
So, yes, mental health awareness, as we know, that's a conversation now. And people are still finding themselves in very dark places in their mind as to why I think I can continue. What voices am I hearing? All kinds of things.
Do you believe, Lady D, that because of the stigma and especially surrounding mental health, that people do not want to reach out for the necessary help because of what they are going to be labeled as? They're labeled as mad person, or even the whole thing of the thought of committing suicide, and people don't want to reach out and tell people that because of the reaction, the negative reactions that they might get in the society.
I believe it could be a two-prong, three-prong scenario
Mhm.
because if you have people who are close to you and you are going, because I have people in my circle who they talk to me and I talk to them,
Mhm.
and it gives you a chance to breathe, to share, right? If you feel, because then it comes down to, again, a personal thing, if you feel that based on the nature of what your struggles are or struggle is, and you say, if I mention it, they're going to look at me strange, or they may not understand, or they may even say, how could you be thinking or having these problems when
Mhm.
you have us, when you
Mhm.
have people?
Mhm.
Then it becomes a beating stick.
Mhm.
So rather than saying, I really need somebody to talk to
Mhm.
because these thoughts are recurring, then they're going to hold it And the more you hold it, there's a word that is becoming more frequently used called rumination. The amount of things that are spiraling in your thoughts, after a while, they clash
Mm.
and you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
So, people, we need to understand that while you and I may feel okay today, there may be something that causes us to shift. Because anything that in our normal um, mental ability or a capacity to reason well and all those things, there may be one little thing that shifts us in a way that it affects our emotion,
Yes.
and depending on how we handle it. So right there and then, you have stepped over into another space of your mental dysfunction.
Mhm.
All of us go through that.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
All of us go through it.
Yeah.
So here is a family with this bright young woman, and I've never seen her videos. I never saw them until
Yeah, I did same here. It was after the incident,
never
then
saw them. So
I was aware. I wasn't even aware of her. You know what I mean? I don't follow these pageants and stuff like that,
okay,
so I wasn't aware of her until after her death, and then the video started circulating and all of that, and then I looked at it
yeah.
and I'm like, wow, this was so explicit. Like she wasn't even hiding. She wasn't trying to talk in circles or chords. She was just like literally
Hmm.
saying, "This is what's happening," and that is why I am kind of astonished that she did not get the necessary help. Because I mean, she was literally out there.
But there seemed to have been a progression.
Hmm.
Yes, because in one of the videos, she did mention that she was hospitalized and so on. So there were things happening
Hmm.
in terms of who her audience were, how much of what she was going through her family were aware of, because we can mask things,
Hmm.
and we'll mask them very well.
Yeah.
So all of that part of her life that we really don't even know the details of.
Yeah.
And subsequent to that, there were other people who have since done that act.
Yes, yes, yes. I was looking at the
Yeah.
statistics earlier today, and I'm gonna share them, with the audience. It is quite jarring the amount of people who commit suicide on a yearly basis.
Mhm. Mhm.
You know, and
So I mean, I just saw a news headline where a man did it, and apparently he thought that either his wife or common law, whoever she was, it's like something was going on with her, and a man was relating the story
mm,
of what he understands could possibly have led him to do it.
yeah,
It's a devil of a demon.
it is, it is, it is.
So
And
these are my few words.
all right, Lady D, and as usual, I appreciate it. Thank you
Thank
very
you.
much.
Blessings.
All right.
Blessings, Chris
Yeah, God
Wilby.
bless you. Thanks, Lady. Thanks to Lady D for her input, and yeah, it is quite something. Yeah. Mr. Green is saying, "I endorse this message." Mrs. Green's spiritual conviction supersedes personal desires. Love waits. Lust is instant gratification. Yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you, my brother. I appreciate that input. All right, so yeah, the hot topics. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. In today's dating world, is holding off on sex still considered a good move, or is that old school thinking? Do men really want to wait, or are they looking for things to heat up right away? What are your thoughts? 508 762 7621. Let me get back to the music, and I'm going to pull up another thing that I need to talk about, all right? Earth to run red. All right. Good evening. You're live on the radio.
Hey, Chris, you're playing music, but we're not
Oh,
hearing.
you're not hearing. All right. Thank you very much, Lady D.
Mm-mm.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay.
All right. So I was playing the music.
I hear I let you
All right.
down. Whoa, there's a rum red. When you're all I think, all I see.
Hello. Good evening. You're live on the radio.
I hear I let you down.
What's up, past me?
Y- You're live on the radio. Hello. Hello. Good evening. All right. All right. So sorry, ladies. Sorry about that. I was playing the music, and it was not, for some reason, it wasn't going through. Maybe because I had my volume turned down. All right. So let me just go back to some of the music that you were missing out on.
Mr. Patricia, good evening. How are you doing, my friend? Them, the one them were black and comely. I will love the brown skin, yeah? So this one here goes out to all the brown skin ladies.
A brown skin. Girl, I wanna wrap you, wanna lock you in my arms. Brown skin. Woman, I love the vibes, I love the spice, I love the passion you bring. Brown skin. Yes, I wanna wrap you, wanna lock you in my arms. A brown skin. Woman, I love the vibes, I love the spice, I love the passion you bring. The way you smile, the way you attire, the way you take care of yourself. In every way you make my day, you know I want you for myself.
So after the program tonight, I'm going to play the entire last night's episode on the website, right? So you can tune in on CaribbeanVibesRadio.com to hear the entire show. Right after this program, I'm going to do a repeat broadcast of
the program from last night, but during this program, you will hear bits and pieces of it. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about it. High stakes meeting or political trap. This is another one of the hot topics. Yeah. This is another one of the hot topics. High stakes meeting or political trap. I would love to hear your views on this also. So opposition leader Mark Golding has written to Prime Minister Andrew Holness, urging him to reconsider his proposal that constitutional reform discussion begin with Golding and Justice Minister Delroy Chuck. Golding argued that the talks should take place directly between himself and the Prime Minister, noting that he was responding to a letter Dr. Holness sent last month. Reiterating his long-held position, Golding said Jamaica must remove the British monarch and the UK Privy Council to complete his sovereignty. He referenced Dr. Holness's recent remarks calling for bipartisan cooperation to advance Jamaica's transition to a republic, an initiative started by the PNP decades ago. Golding welcomed the Prime Minister's acknowledgement that the government does not have the two-thirds parliamentary majority required to effect constitutional changes, stressing that meaningful reform can only be achieved through genuine collaboration between the JLP and the PNP leadership. He further stated that based on Holness's comments, he expected a formal invitation to meet directly to discuss the way forward. Golding rejected the idea of meeting first with Minister Chuck, arguing that such talks would not lay the proper foundation for bipartisan partnership. He urged the Prime Minister to reconsider his approach and respond positively. Now, here are my views on that matter. While national dialogue between government and opposition is essential, Prime Minister Holness would be making a strategic misstep by accepting this invitation in its current form. Allowing Mr. Golding to dictate the framework of the discussions risk ceding control of the constitutional reform agenda. The Jamaican electorate reaffirmed Holness and the JLP's leadership at the polls. Having already invited Golding to engage with the Justice Minister and the Minister of Constitutional Reform, the Prime Minister would set a troubling precedent by now agreeing to Golding's terms. Many Jamaicans believe Mr. Golding is not approaching these talks in good faith, viewing his letter as a political performance rather than a sincere attempt at partnership. Holness must therefore stand firm. He should insist that Golding first meet with Minister Chuck to establish the groundwork before any high-stake or high-level talks take place. In my opinion, real constitutional reform requires honesty, respect, and structure, not political showmanship. The Prime Minister must protect the integrity of the process while ensuring that future discussions genuinely put Jamaica's national interest first. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I am of the opinion, and I would love to hear if anybody else agree with me or not. I am of the opinion that the Prime Minister must meet with Mr. Golding to have discussions about matters concerning the Jamaican economy, the Jamaican constitution, and matters of importance overall. I believe that it is good governance, it is good politics, and overall it is just a good thing to do, to meet with the opposition leader from time to time in order to discuss matters of national importance so that Jamaica can move forward. I honestly believe that. However, most Jamaicans do not trust Mr. Golding. It is just a fact. Most Jamaicans believe that Mr. Golding is a showman and he is not operating in good faith. Mr. Golding, during the last term, before they reached to the level where the reform process, the constitutional reform process broke down, there was a framework in place. Mr. Golding acknowledged the framework, he accepted the framework, and he said that they should move quickly on the matters that they agreed upon, and then they can discuss the rest of it later on. I'm paraphrasing him, but that was essentially what he said. And then later on, when he thought that it was politically expedient, he changed his tune. And he threw what I call a poison pill into the whole discussion, because then he started talking about the Caribbean Court of Justice and moving completely from the court in England, the final court in England, Court of Appeal, and putting the Court of Appeal to the Caribbean Court of Appeal. And if that doesn't happen, he will not support anything. So it was his way or the highway. That was never any part of the agreement or the framework. So now that he lost the election, he's now sending out a letter to the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister, ladies and gentlemen, in my view, is doing the right thing. The Prime Minister said, okay, I want the shadow minister of Constitutional Affairs to meet with the Minister of Constitutional Affairs and Justice. So he's meeting with the counterpart. The shadow minister of Constitutional Affairs meeting with the Minister of Constitutional Affairs. Mr. Golding took unto himself the shadow minister of Constitutional Affairs. So in my opinion, it is only fair for Mr. Golding to meet with Mr. Chuck, who is the Minister of Constitutional Affairs and Justice Minister. Begin the discussion. And then if they have any issues or any problems, then they meet with the Prime Minister to iron it out and discuss it. That is how I believe it should go. The Prime Minister set the tone. In my opinion, Mr. Golding is in no position to be setting the agenda for the country. He is in absolutely no position. He is the Minister of Opposition. And I have no problem with him meeting with the Prime Minister. They should meet. But let me ask you the question. If you do not believe that Mr. Golding is playing politics with this, why would he make this letter public to the Prime Minister? If he just wanted dialogue with the Prime Minister and he's writing to the Prime Minister, why would he make this letter public? In my opinion, I believe Mr. Golding is trying to do a one-up man. Yeah. He's into theatrics and he's not serious. I don't even believe Mr. Golding is really serious about the constitutional reform. I believe he wants Jamaica to remain under the patronage of the English. I really believe that. He wants to protect his, because right, if he wants to, he can. We don't even know if he really denounced his citizenship. He said that he did. We don't know if he did. His British citizenship. So maybe Mr. Golding wants to continue to have access to his British citizenship. So he's going to do anything within his power to stifle the process from moving forward. That is my opinion. I do not believe he is negotiating in good faith. And he's going to continue to throw a wrench into the process to delay it and eventually prevent it from moving forward. That's my opinion. I do not believe Mr. Golding should dictate when and where the Prime Minister meet with him. So here is what I believe should happen, ladies and gentlemen. I believe Mr. Golding and the Prime Minister should meet. The Prime Minister should respond to this letter respectfully, saying, and if Mr. Golding, now it is going to show up whether or not Mr. Golding is serious about constitutional reform and the process, or he just wants to be a thorn in the Prime Minister's side. The two parties, they have to work together. One party cannot get it done. So both of them, they have to work together. So, okay, Mr. Golding fired the first shot. He sends out this letter. If he's serious and the Prime Minister says, okay, listen, I will meet with you. However, I would love for you to meet with the Justice Minister, as was stated, begin the talks, begin the discussion, and I promise you I will meet with you at a later date. I believe that is the way the Prime Minister should go. And if Mr. Golding refuses, then it will show that he's not serious about this thing. Because he's always coming with his my way or the highway. And he's not the Prime Minister. We cannot allow the Minister of the Opposition to be dictating how the country is run and the agenda. You can't allow him to hijack the agenda. All right? So 508-762-7621 if you want to contribute to any of the hot topics so far. Do you agree with me? I have one more that I'm going to throw into the mix. You can call me up and tell me if you agree with me or not. 508-762-7621.
Your full attention, your love in every direction. In my songs, your name will be mentioned. I give you love and affection. I'm so glad that I made a woman. What a match, perfect combination. Multiply and bring forth a nation. I love you, baby, every day. Brown skin, girl, I wanna wrap you, wanna lock you in my arms. A brown skin, woman, I love the vibes, I love the spice, I love the passion you bring. Brown skin, yes, I wanna wrap you, wanna lock you in my arms. A brown skin, woman, I love the vibes, I love the spice, I love the passion you. story about what one dance can do. What one dance can do. One dance can do. One dance can do. And listen there. After one dance on the floor.
And as we move from Richard Spice,
Wanting for more, for more. Now I don't know
there's this Beresford Hammond,
that I've got
the One Beres.
what she whispered was so
The One Beres.
nice. But her man is
What one dance can do.
and he could hear.
Hey, let me just pull up this. Let me just pull up this for a moment, ladies and gentlemen. And there is a national dialogue going on about suicide in Jamaica, right? The family of Tyra Spalding, a former Miss Universe Jamaica contestant who died by suicide last month, is appealing for help to cover her funeral expenses, right? That is being reported in the news right now. And let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. Since her passing, we have had people talking all kinds of things about, because suicide is now in the news. A lot of people are committing suicide, and there are many different reasons and studies and whatnot concerning that topic or the subject of suicide and why people commit suicide. There are many different reasons why people commit suicide, but one of them, I think, is mental health. It is mental health issues, and a lot of people do not understand that. And in 2025, I can't believe that people in Jamaica are still hung up on, the taboo, or I don't know what to say, some kinds of argument that to me just sounds butu, about people who commit suicide and whatnot. And I can't help but see a particular comment under this post here, and people are making their comments online, and this one person here, which I just chalk it up to just people being ignorant, people being ignorant, and they're not willing to learn and get out of the little sandboxes that they're in. So that's just my take on that. This person here said that she took her own life, so she deserves a pauper funeral with little or no sympathy. Yeah, that's the comment. And then the person said, "Oh no, come for me." Before or something or the other, whatever. But I'm just saying, what I mean? It's just interesting that people are still of the view that people who commit suicide are less than. I had this discussion in one of my groups, and boy, I tell you, I taken aback that people were still talking about this as if, these people who commit suicide, they deserve it. They deserve death because they're stupid and they're inconsiderate and all of that. So, yeah, it is a topic that I think we need to educate ourselves a little bit more on. But a lot of Jamaicans are just in their little corners and nobody's willing to get out of that. So that's my take on the situation. And I hope that at some point in our lives, in our lifetime, in this lifetime, we will get beyond the stigma of people who are sick in their heads, people who are ill, who do the ultimate and commit suicide, right? Let me just get back to the music. I just thought I'd throw that in the mix there, right? You're listening into the Chris Whilby Show.
I can tell you a story about what one dance can do. What one dance can do. One dance can do. One dance can do. And listen there. After one dance on the floor.
All right, one dance, what one dance can do. So you, ladies and gentlemen, that was a little bit of what was going on last night on the program. We are back live with you right now. PNP cry foul. PNP cries foul over doctor's interdiction. But history shows a double standard. Why I tell you. Some people say me always a pick by the PNP, but why when we see the news, it is in the news. So I am not The thing about me, I will, the news is out there. I pick up the news and then I make my commentary. I'm not making the news. The PNP is making the news. So PNP cries foul over interdiction, but history shows a double standard. The opposition People's National Party has condemned the Southern Regional Health Authority's decision to interdict Dr. Ode. Is that his Ohe Dixon following his candidacy in the September 3rd general election? I think it's Ohe. Opposition spokesperson on Justice Zulika Jess issued a statement on Wednesday calling the move an injustice. Jess argued that Dr. Dixon's interdiction was unfair and politically motivated. However, this strong condemnation has drawn sharp criticism from many Jamaicans who are pointing to the PNP's own recent use of the same legal provisions to remove a sitting councillor in none other than Yalas St. Thomas. A move that triggered, ladies and gentlemen, a by-election. I kid you not. During that incident, the PNP did not hesitate to lean on the existing law to oust the councillor, arguing that public sector employees who participate in elections cannot retain their positions. Their legal justification at the time mirrored the very framework now being applied to Dr. Dixon. This has led to growing accusations of political hypocrisy. Observers note that the PNP's current outrage seems selective and politically convenient. When the law benefited their agenda in St. Thomas, they embraced it. Now that the same exact law is being applied to someone associated with their ranks, they are condemning it as unjust. This inconsistency raises legitimate questions about whether the PNP's objections are grounded in principle or politics. Many Jamaicans expect both government and opposition to be consistent and fair, especially when dealing with matters that affect public trust. And I have my view here about the situation. The PNP's reaction to Dr. Dixon's interdiction highlights a troubling double standard. Laws should not be treated as convenient tools to advance political interest one day and condemned as injustices the next. If the PNP truly believes the law is unjust, then it should have held the same position during the Yalas case. Anything less undermines their credibility and weakens public confidence in their arguments. Constitutional and employment laws must be applied consistently regardless of which party benefits. Political parties have a duty to act with integrity and not selective outrage. So yeah, that's my take on the whole situation. The People's National Party, listen, children, it's not hard to see the hypocrisy, It is just not hard. And sometimes when people say some things, people will think that, boy, you're taking sides and you're this or you're that. But it is blatant. And if it is blatant, you have no choice. You have no choice but to comment as you see it. And as far as I am concerned, the People's National Party behave in hypocritical manners a lot of the times. Because they're out there. No, the law is there, that the law states that if you are in the public service and you want to enter politics, nobody's saying that you cannot enter politics. What they're saying is that you must, the law is there, you must resign from your current position and then go run for politics. You cannot be a medical doctor being paid by the government and try to go run for politics. It's not a thing. It's not the law. The law says if you have that position, you must resign and go run for politics. Nothing is wrong with that. Nobody's saying that you cannot run for politics, but the law is the law. And when the shoe was on the other foot, they leaned into it. And they carried the man to court. And the man had to resign. And they had a by-election. But now they're saying, oh, crying foul. It's unfair, crocodile tears. How the heck the PNP expect people to take them seriously? They can't. That's my take on the matter. 508-762-7621 if you want to participate. Get back to some more music.
Came back wanting for more. Now I don't know what it is that I've got.
Sister Camille, Wagwan.
It was so nice.
See you sneaking in on the place. What's up?
Man is sitting across the way, and he could hear the things I say. Now we watches from the corner of his eyes. So a move like this will be so unwise. He's standing in my way. Standing in my way.
Hey, I don't know how to respond to this person here. There's somebody saying goody. Somebody's name is Good Evening Vibes Master. That one there is interesting.
Move with me anytime. Not easy.
So how do I respond? Do I say good evening to you, good evening Vibes Master?
So I had to think quickly.
Oh Lord. Interesting name there. Good evening Vibes Master is the name.
Looking oh so mean.
Alright.
Anytime he could create a scene.
Happy Wednesday.
So gently I pushed her away. Ooh, he wants to spoil the play. He's standing in my way. He's standing in my way. Whoa, whoa. Now I understand how he feels, but I wish he'd give me a little room, just a little room. I know he's got himself a raw deal, ooh, but I'd like to leave with this lady soon. I didn't mean to be so unkind, but I had more than two. The one was looking fine. Big spender he was, had to have his own way. Thought he'd leave, but he stayed. Ooh, still standing in my way. Hey, hey, standing in my way. Sorry, baby.
Some guys just have all the love, but sorry for I'm gonna treat you in the street again.
Say what? Lady, oh yes. Saying to me, did you mean to tell me it put you down for another? And what? Lady, oh yes. Showing me, did you mean to tell me it put you out? It put you out of
Good evening. You're live on the radio.
Good evening, Chris. How are you?
Sister Pat, I am here.
Yes. Oh,
I am
okay.
alive.
All right. You're in the land of the living.
Yeah, yeah. I
That's
am
what I'm talking about.
still kicking.
Okay. All right now. Okay. All right.
What's happening?
Well, as far as the politics is concerned, I try to kind of distance myself. But listening to the conversation earlier with you and the other listener, I realized that it's a double standard if you have a career already and you still want to run for politics. Isn't that a double standard?
Ah, what you think?
I think it's a double standard because how you're going to focus, put your 100% into being a politician and then have another
Which is a
career.
full-time job.
Yes. So, and being a doctor is not even just a full-time job. You're on call,
Hmm.
and I don't know how is that
I think
ever possible.
what they want. I think people who do things like this, you see, what they want
Uh-huh.
to do is they want to hedge their bets. So,
Okay.
in other words, they do not want to resign the position that they are in, just in case they do not make it. As in case of this man, he did not win the election, so
Right.
he just eased back into his position,
As a
as a doctor.
medical doctor.
Right.
Okay.
Now, if he had won, he would have had to resign.
Right. Right.
So there was there. So I think it is just playing cute when people do these things. They don't
Mhm,
want to
mhm.
because no matter how confident you hear them, and they know that yeah, there's no 100% guarantee that they are going to win. So
Absolutely.
they want to make sure. I just in case me not winning, I just go back and work tomorrow morning. Yeah, it's
Wow.
just like that. It's a cynical thing.
But we see during our election in the States, um I don't remember who was it that had a job. Oh, remember when Kamala Harris was running?
Hmm.
She was the governor for California or the senator for California.
When she was running for the vice presidency,
Yes,
I would have to check. I think that she was a
she had
senator.
to
She
resign.
was a
Yes,
senator.
senator.
Yes, she was a
Yes, she
senator
had
at
to
the time.
resign that position. Yes.
And
Okay. And I guess it took her a while before she rescinded
yeah,
on being a senator.
I
Yes.
think that in the United States, the law is a little bit different because the law allow you to actually run,
Hmm.
and if you don't win, you can actually go back and into your position because a lot of governors, sitting governors, run for president and they lose and they just go back to
Hmm.
being governor. And the senators, they run for president while they are senators, and if they lose, they go back to. But it is in that case, though, it is a politician doing something that a politician just running for a higher office. I
Okay.
don't know about what the laws are in the United States concerning public sector workers or public servants. In Jamaica, if you are a public servant, you cannot seek political office while employed as a public servant. It's the law.
Okay. Okay.
And the problem that I have with this particular situation is
Hmm.
that the People's National Party, some time ago, I'll have to try and find the exact date, when
Hmm.
this young man ran in St. Thomas and he actually won. He was a public sector worker and he had to
Okay.
resign his seat. The PNP brought him to court,
Okay.
and he had to resign, and they had a by-election. The PNP forced him to resign. The
Okay.
court forced him to resign. So now that this doctor who wasn't following the law did the same thing that the guy in St. Thomas did, the PNP is saying, no, man, I'm not treat my guy unfairly. You know what I mean? And they're willing barefaced. They say that they're going to take court action
Okay.
because according to them, it's political victimization. You can't make this stuff up.
Okay.
And that is why a lot of people, find the PNP and the current leadership distasteful because they do not play in good faith. They do not operate in good faith. I have no problem. I want politicians. I want the politics to be robust. I want the debates. But come in good faith, man. And I honestly believe that the People's National Party under Mark Golding is not operating in good faith.
Okay. Oh boy. Now that's. I mean, in a situation like this.
You're breaking up, Sister Pat.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me take. In a situation like this, has anyone ever been accused the other party before of doing something similar to what's happening now?
Yeah, that's what I was saying. That the guy in St. Thomas actually ran and won while he was employed. He was a Jamaica Labour Party supporter. He was actually a Jamaica Labour Party councillor. He won his seat, and the People's National Party took him to court. He had to resign, and they had to do a by-election to fill the seat.
Okay.
So yeah, he had to resign his position as I can't remember what he was working as he was a government worker, and he had to resign his position there, and they had to do a by-election, to sort the thing out. So what I'm saying is that the PNP, they know the law. It's not that they do not know; they know the law, but they do not want to operate under the same the same thing that the same law that they forced the person in St. Thomas to abide by. They are saying, no, we're not abiding by that.
So do you think they have selective memory?
Well, you have to ask them. I don't know. What you think? I mean, it is obvious.
If that's the case, what is good for the goose must be good for the gander.
Exactly, it is obvious that they have selective memory. Some people say they have amnesia.
No, I would say selective memory. They remember what they want.
What they want to, something like that.
When it suits their convenience, then they would enforce it. Oh wow!
Yeah, man, it's how they operate. And what was the other one? Let me see if I can. Yes, I know you stay away from politics. What's your take on this situation where Mark Golding want to meet with the Prime Minister and he's demanding a meeting with the Prime Minister after the Prime Minister said to him, meet with the opposition on the opposition spokesperson. Well, not the spokesperson, the Minister of Justice and Constitutional Reform. The Prime Minister said, meet with these people, with this man, and then you come back and talk to me. Mark Golding said, nope, meet with him.
But the Prime Minister is right, because you have to go through the chain of command. You can't demand to just speak to the Prime Minister like that. You must follow the rule. But as I see, Jamaica has become a little America. If America sneeze, Jamaica pick it up.
Jamaica, Cocoa Little America.
Yes, man. America sneeze, Jamaica get the droplets, you know,
Mm,
and they're just following suit.
yeah.
But it's not right though. I believe in the chain of command. You must go through the proper channel before you get to the top.
Mm.
If you work your way and you don't get any justice there, then you move up to the next
That is my
step.
opinion, you know. And
Yes,
listen, here's the thing. I have no
yes,
problem with him meeting with the prime minister or even
mm-hmm.
asking for a meeting with the prime minister to discuss
Yes,
matters of importance. He
yes,
is indeed
yes.
the opposition
Entitled,
minister.
and he's
So nothing is
entitled.
wrong. Yeah, nothing he's entitled to a meeting with the prime minister. He's the what we would call the direct counterpart to the prime minister, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
but it's sometimes it's not what you
It's
do, you
his
know.
way. It's
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 the
his way. It's
it's
how he goes
how
about
you do
trying to
it.
demand,
Yes,
trying to
he's
demand.
demanding a
Okay.
meeting with the prime minister after the prime minister said meet with the minister of justice. No, what Mark Golding did,
Yes.
and I think he deliberately did this. I really think he was very strategic in what he did. He took onto himself the shadow spokesperson on constitutional affairs, knowing
Okay.
that it is a contentious issue. He wanted,
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
So he took that onto himself. Now, he took that onto himself, and then the prime minister say, hey, listen, Delroy Chuck is the Minister of Constitutional Affairs and Justice. So I want whoever is the Minister of Constitutional Affairs,
Mm-hmm.
the shadow minister, to meet with Delroy Chuck from the PNP side. Mark Golding said, no, me not meet with them. Me want to meet with you. You know what I mean? So I think that is
Obviously,
where,
he wants to have a confrontation.
and
It won't be a
that is
confrontational
exactly what he,
conversation between both of them.
yeah.
And oh boy,
And I
that
don't
doesn't
believe
sound
that
too
the
good,
prime minister
Chris.
should cede this ground to Mark Golding. I honestly don't believe that. I believe that the prime minister should hold his ground and say to Mark Golding, hey, listen, we want the constitutional reform. I am not the minister of justice. I am not the minister of constitutional affairs. So I would like for you to talk to the Minister of Justice, the Minister of Constitutional Affairs. You guys begin the talk, and I can come in later on. If there is an issue or if there is a problem, I can come in later on and discuss it. I believe that is how it should go.
Of course, of course.
Mm.
Oh wow.
But Mark
Well,
Golding obviously not think so. So
I hope they can work it out though, because it's not sending a very good message.
mm,
You know, it's
yeah,
not sending a good message at all. They have to work things out.
yeah, I think so.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. What's your take on the first topic there? How much time we have left in the program? We
We
have a
have
few
some time.
minutes
It's
left.
what?
Hmm?
9:40,
Yeah,
41. What was
9:40.
the
Yeah.
topic again?
The
What was the
topic
topic
was
again?
the first one. Let me see if I can. Let me just click back over there and find it. Da 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 da. Go into this one here. Entertainment. Go podcast. Okay. All right. So let me click into that. All right. In today's dating world, is
Oh
holding off on
yes.
sex still considered a good move? Or is that old school thinking? And do men really want to wait? Or are they looking for things to heat up right away? What's your
You
take?
know, I was listening to the dialogue between you and Lady D,
Mm-hmm.
and it's an excellent, excellent dialogue.
Right.
You know, even though we're in a different era, but when it comes to the moral law, God's moral law still stands.
Mm.
And I'm glad I'm more seasoned, I'm more mature now, you know.
Right, right.
when I when I was much younger, Chris, it was a different kettle of fish.
Mm-hmm.
But we see now, if as a Christian minded person, if you're trying to make heaven your home, we would consider ourselves kingdom citizens.
Yes.
We want to be obedient by the laws and what God says. He said we should not be unequally yoked. And we see, yes, where some of the men today, they tell you they're not buying no pussy in a bag.
Yeah, Sister Pat, you make me almost jump out of my seat because
No, but it's true.
no, I hear you, but when you just I am like, whoa, okay, yeah, I almost jump out of my seat here, Sister Pat.
They're not buying a pussy in a bag, but there
Okay.
is nothing wrong in waiting,
Mm.
And even though you may wait, and on the night of the consummation, there are some issues with some couples because they claim I should have sampled it before, I'm not into this marriage. But when two people meet and you're heading in the same direction, you have the right mindset, and if God is in your relationship, you have to ask him for guidance and ask him to give you the Holy Spirit to lead you and to guide you. So your relationship will be what he wants it to be. But I don't think there's anything wrong in waiting, And,
But do you believe that? Because I did ask Lady D this question too. Do you believe that people are actually waiting these days, or is
Yes,
it the?
there are a couple of women who are waiting. I know I have a niece, and she's how old is Leah? She's in her 30s, and she was never involved sexually. She recently got engaged, and she indicated that she's not going to consummate that relationship until she get married.
Mhm.
But prior to that, yes, she has friends, who engage in that activity. I don't want to use that other word,
Right.
Yes, so they have engaged in that activity, but to each his own. It's
But
something that
what
one has.
about people who are not really Christians, though? Do you believe that they are not necessarily waiting to get married, but they are just not as old time people used to say. Them now wait, as you said, them now wait for sample
I
it.
know,
They want to.
that's,
In other words,
they want to get it over and done with,
yes, they don't see
you know.
anything wrong with getting it on as quickly as possible. Like,
And
you meet. I saw a video, not to cut you off. I saw a video where a young lady was saying, like, "Hey, if I want it tonight, I'm gonna get it the first night or the second night. I really don't care. I'm a
I
grown woman."
know. I know. And like I said, to each its own. We have to make choices.
Mm.
And unfortunately, sometimes the choices that we make, it's not the right choice.
Yes.
Now, within our sphere today, we see there is sexually transmitted diseases.
Mm.
And one has to be very, very careful and very cautious who they get involved with these days,
Mm.
because it's not easy. It's very hard. I don't think this is a time wherein people should be sampling Mary Jane, Sue, Dick, Tom, Harry, and the whole 9 yards.
Mm-hmm.
You meet someone and you want to settle down. Now, we can't even tell the young people today that they should abstain and wait until their wedding night. We can't even tell them that. Because they laugh at us. They tell us, "Oh, you're old-fashioned." That happened in the olden days. This is a modern day, a
Yeah.
modern world.
So in
You
other words,
know,
things and times change.
times have changed drastically, and this is where I implement the moral law. We all
Mm.
have a conscience, and we know what is right from wrong. And I want to say this, Chris. When we know what is right and we do the opposite, why do we feel so guilty?
Hmm.
There is a load of guilt that come upon us because
Yeah.
we know better,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
But I am not pointing the finger at nobody. Everyone has their choice,
Yes.
and we have to live up to our responsibility and our obligation of the choices that we make.
Hmm.
But in the meantime, too, we have to set an example for the upcoming generation. We
Yes.
cannot live a life of frivolous behavior because they will tell us, "Oh, but weren't you doing so and so? Why
Mm.
did you telling me that I shouldn't do? You did so and so, you know."
Yes. Yes.
But it's very difficult. But morally, though, I believe that folks should wait because it's sex it's an activity wherein in the heat of the motion you get all excited, and after all of that is left, what else is there?
Hmm.
But love is an action word, it's a verb, and that s that's a fringe benefit of the relationship. So when you're dating, you're courting, you want to get to know your partner, you know, communication, what do you like, what you don't like, you know. I mean, it's so much involved these days when you are courting someone.
As his
But
sister Camille said, let's get it on.
well, like I say, it's up to each individual. I
Yeah.
would not tell her she shouldn't do it.
She said,
She has a
she
conscience.
said, let's get it on. So,
Is that
let's
Marvin?
get
Is
it
that Marvin
on.
Gaye's song? Is that Marvin Gaye?
Marvin
Let's
Gaye,
get it
yeah,
on.
yes. Let's get it on.
Yeah. So but these are good topics, Chris.
Yes,
I'm glad
yes.
I'm able to participate.
Yes, man.
It's good to get someone else's perspective on
And I
on
appreciate you as
things.
usual.
Yeah, nice to get a good spin on things.
Yes, man. No problem. Thank you
Okay.
very much, Sister Pat. I
All right.
appreciate
Well,
you.
you have a good evening. Good night,
Yes.
everyone. And hopefully,
And a
God's
good
willing,
weekend.
I'll see you on Sunday,
I
Sunday
will. I
evening.
will be here.
Okay. All right. God bless
God's
now.
willing.
Okay. Bye
Yes.
bye.
All right. Ah. Mm-hmm. All right. We're almost there. We're almost there now. We have stuck on here, so let's get it on. I don't know what you're getting on, but ay, ay, ay. All right, ladies and gentlemen.
And you are listening to Caribbean Vibes Radio, the very best online radio station. Caribbean Vibes Radio, number one. Keep it locked.
Say what, lady? Oh, yeah. Saying to me, did you mean to tell me it put you down for another? And what, lady? Oh, yeah. Showing me, did you mean to tell me it threw you out? Another loss is another man's gain. I'm in the position to ease your pain. I'll build this dream of to me and you. Oh, yeah. So baby, baby, when you're coming home, I promise you will never be alone. Set a table, baby, just for two. Oh, yeah. Oh, hey, yeah, yeah. Say what, lady? Oh, yeah. Saying
Sister Camille says, some men and women say, as you see me, gimme. As you see me, gimme.
Did you mean to tell
My overall thoughts on that, before I go, ladies and gentlemen, is the question really is, do you believe that in today's dating world people are holding off? And my honest opinion is, I don't think people are holding off like back in the day. And the reason being is that people are now more, what do you call that word? Uninhibited. Yeah? People don't really care like that anymore. They feel freer to express themselves. And they don't care, a lot of people don't really care about what other people are going to say about them. They are living what they call their truth. And so if they feel like they want to get it on with somebody, they are not going to allow, quote unquote, society to dictate their actions, because they believe that they are grown and they can account for their own actions. And I do believe that more and more people are gravitating towards that concept. Women in particular they don't feel the need to hold on to the quote unquote traditions of the past. And I'm generalizing because I know there is always the exception to the norm. But in general, I believe that this is the case. And men, they are not so hung up on the idea anymore, because some men will tell you that it's a false equation to believe that a woman is quote unquote easy because she did not wait a year or 6 months to give it up after you start dating. Some men will tell you that, listen, we clicked, I liked her. There's something in her that I see her as my future wife. I see her, whatever they're gonna find to justify it. So they're not going to make the fact that this deed happened early prevent them from having the life that they believe they deserve. It's just that my opinion. It's the opinion of a lot of people. So whether rightfully or wrongfully, I don't know. You know what I mean? But I do believe that things and times have changed, and I don't believe that men and women are holding out as much as they used to. And the men really, I don't think men really want to hold out as much as they, back then. Like back then, a lot of men, if you're a Christian, now that is a completely different argument, because now you're going into the biblical reasons why you should. And if you go against that, then you are going against not only your principle, but you're going against the law of God. So then, no, it's a whole different ball game. You understand? So, but I'm talking about, generally speaking, I think that is what normally is happening in today's society. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I think that is all the time that we have this evening. I want to say thank you everybody. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for your participation. And from time to time, I think it's gonna get better with the hot topics. Let's talk about it. Things. We're gonna have different topics every Thursday that we can discuss. And I look forward to your input as usual and your participation. I'll be here this Sunday for the Chris Wilby Show. Well, not the Chris Wilby Show, the Divine Praise Gospel Show. I can't believe we're approaching the weekend already, you know. Boy, I tell you, the time really, really fly. But for those of you who want to hear the replay of the Chris Wilby Show, the musical vibes from Wednesday, you can log on to the website at www.caribbeanvibesradio.com and listen in. I will be doing the replay right about now, so you can run on over there and enjoy the music. Have yourselves a fantastic evening and take care of your beautiful, beautiful selves. I will catch you when I catch you. Good night.
A big shout out to Skipper from High End Escape Card. The man that don't miss the show, you know. Big up yourself, my brethren. The man they say, yo, from a find that station, yeah. I got it locked. Got it locked. Big up yourself, Skipper.
Lady, saying to me, did you mean to tell me it put you down? Then what? Lady, show me, did you mean to tell me it put you down? Will I take you
singing melody right here on the Big Bad Station. So what do you do if your flight is delayed or cancelled during the U.S. government shutdown? Yeah, you know we have a government shutdown that's going on in Washington right now, right? So the U.S. government is shut down. I don't understand that thing. I don't know, because my life goes on. But here's some information. What to do if your flight is delayed or cancelled during the U.S. government shutdown. The federal government shutdown has entered its second week, and already shortages of air traffic controllers have strained operations and disrupted flights at some U.S. airports. Reagan National Airport became the latest this week to report delays because of staffing issues on Wednesday. But earlier in the week, there were also problems at airports in Chicago, Newark, Denver, and Nashville. And the tower even had to shut down for several hours in Burbank, California. Experts, as well as union leaders representing air traffic controllers and security screeners, warn that the impact could grow significantly worse if the shutdown continues and employees start to miss paychecks. Here's what to know about your rights as a passenger and what you can do if delays and cancellations start piling up. It is better to be stuck at home or in a hotel than to be stranded in an airport terminal. So use the airline's app or flight website to make sure that your flight is still on before heading to the airport. This FAA site can be checked to see if there are widespread delays at your airport. Kyle Potter, executive editor of Thrifty Travel, suggests also closely monitoring the news if you have upcoming travel plans. A deal in theory could come through Congress any day now, and that could put all of this doubt lingering over air travel to an end pretty quickly, Potter said. If you are already at the airport, it is time to find another flight. Get in line to speak to a customer service representative and call or go online to connect to the airline's reservation staff. It also helps to reach out on X, the site formerly known as Twitter, because airlines might respond quickly there.
Airlines will rebook you on a later flight for no additional charge. The good news right now is that this is not a peak travel time, so travelers stand a better chance of finding seats. But the busy holiday season is right around the corner, and at those peak times, passengers might have to wait days for a seat on a new flight. If these problems do become more widespread, you might consider whether it makes sense to travel by train, car, or bus instead. But there is really no way to predict when and where a staff shortage might happen, and the ongoing shortage of controllers is so critical that even a small number of absence can cause problems. Potter said the shutdown is different from when a single airline is having problems and travelers can just pick up another carrier. This is creating problems for entire airports at once. As these problems expand and spread, the longer the shutdown drags on, it's unlikely that there will be one airline running on time if the rest of them are failing, he said. It's going to affect the entire system over time. You can, but airlines aren't required. Let me see. You can, but airlines aren't required to put you on another carrier's flight. Some airlines, include the biggest ones except Southwest and Discount Airlines, say they can put you on a partner airline, but even then it is often a hit or miss. If you no longer want to take the trip or have found another way of getting to your destination, the airline is legally required to refund your money, even if you bought a non-refundable ticket. It doesn't matter why the flight was cancelled. And I got this information from the Associated Press. So maybe if you want to know more, you can go to the Associated Press to get more information. You're listening to the Chris Whilby Show, the international show with Jamaican vibes. It is a musical vibes.